Hello, welcome to Giving Tuesday. I'm Angela Harris, Vice President of Community Engagement, Programming and Communications with DCTV. Washington, D.C. is home to over 12,000 nonprofit organizations. This represents over a quarter of the district's workforce. D.C. nonprofits give nearly $500 million annually to the district for a variety of services, and that doesn't include the countless hours of volunteer work done in our community. DCTV is committed to meaningful media. That means we proudly give a voice to those who are the least heard, and we speak meaningful dialogue about the important things that impact our community. In 2019, DCTV launched a new grant program for the purpose of helping nonprofit organizations to increase their communications capacity. We developed the grant with the guidance of nonprofit leaders who told us that getting the word out about the work they are doing is amongst the biggest challenges that they face, especially in a hyper-digital world. So we are here today to tell these stories, to make sure that these meaningful messages are seen and heard. Giving Tuesday is an annual event that began in 2012 as a way to spark the holiday giving season. It's celebrated on the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving each year. We hope that today's 24-hour special programming event will inspire you and will give you cause to join these organizations in the great work they are doing every day. So sit back and you'll be introduced to some of DCTV's staff who will serve as the hosts for this one-of-a-kind special event. And happy holidays.
Hello, I'm Lisa Haynes, Communications Manager at DCTV. Research shows the number of small businesses in the DC area has grown over the last few years, with a total of more than 76,000 recently reported. There are several nonprofit organizations in the district that offer business and entrepreneurship services, as well as other programs, including teaching people how to eliminate barriers to success, assistance with career and economic development, as well as providing financial workshops. We are about to introduce you to 5 DC area nonprofit organizations who are doing just that. They include Beacon DC Women's Founders, Scholas Incorporated, ServiceSource, Swaliga Foundation, and the United Planning Organization.
How do we make sure that women entrepreneurs are being represented at those and getting their opportunity to shine? We wanted to connect people to the resources that they need to succeed, to trainings, how to get legal advice, how to get marketing opportunities to support what they're doing, how to think about access to capital, and to have people invest in their businesses and get them the resources they need. By going across disciplines, by going across social groups, you name it, we could come up with a better network for providing resources and support for women entrepreneurs in the area.
So over the course of 2 years, we funded about 30 organizations with $100,000 in grant funding provided by the DC Mayor's Office. Our latest impact survey found that over 95% of our community, our subscribers, were made aware of and took advantage of an opportunity because of it being in the newsletter, because of the Beacon network that they grew to be a part of. This is our most prized product, and it's kind of that digest of what's happening. The women in the community are using it as a way to market themselves, to offer discounted services, to connect for different business engagements.
And that's been one of the key things that we've been so proud of, is seeing that take shape and grow into the future.
Post-COVID, we've seen now a resurgence of attention to particularly the Black community, and I'm very, very much inspired by this time because now the Black women entrepreneurs are receiving the recognition and capital that they deserve.
Once again, it's time for Impact Moment right here on DCTV. I'm Alvin Jones, and today we're going to talk about the IT. I'm talking about, of course, technology when it comes to doing things over the internet. And we've got Bridget Gray. She is with Scholas.
Yes,
and you are about the impact.
We are.
And isn't that your title? Your title has impact in it?
Actually, it is. I'm our Chief Impact Officer, so I make sure that everything that we do has impact with the lives and the communities that we provide training to, with our business community as well. So yes, impact is part of our business.
Well, let's talk about IT. I understand you guys train folks for IT.
We do. We train people in everything on what people would deem entry-level to mid-level skills. So that's everything from your end-user support roles to your cybersecurity, your coders, your cloud fundamentals. We train people in IT.
So in other words, if you get certified in IT, to paraphrase the lady, you're going to get a job.
You will get a job. If you want a job, you'll get a job.
What are the success, metrics, I would say, if a person graduates from Scholas and they get their degree or the certification, what are their possibilities of getting a job?
Yeah, so if they're getting their credentials, and even in those training tracks where there's no actual certification, 83% of our learners go on to secure full-time employment. And the initial average wage is usually in the low 40s, but our goal is always to move people towards a thriving wage. And so we want to make sure that even when you start at your low 40s, we can help you thrive and move that wage further into something that's much more sustainable for you and your families.
Now, I know folks who may not be versatile in IT may be challenged or may be fearful of going into IT. Yeah. What are some of the challenges that people have, and how do you help them alleviate those fears?
So the thing that's really interesting about IT is when you find that come to your door are the curious people, right? The folks that are problem solvers, the tinkerers, the people that want to tear something apart and put it back together, because those are the folks that are really interested in IT. That's who employers look for as well. But there are those folks who think that IT is the fact that I can get on Facebook or I can get on Instagram or social media, and that's not IT, that's a function of IT. And so we really try to dig deep in our interviewing process to really find out what is your passion and what is it you're looking to do. IT is also the space too where when you initially start, it may not be the space you're looking for. You may not want to work on a help desk forever, but you need to test it out just to figure out what form of IT you're looking to work in.
Tell me something that surprised you in working with Scholas.
So in working with Scholas, one of the things that drew me to the organization, so I've been here over 6.5 years now, and one of the things that drew me was how deeply ingrained Scholas is in social justice, equity, inclusion. It's entrenched. It started out as an organization 25 years ago, just connecting technology to communities of color that lacked the basic level computers. And it morphed into a training organization that's actually providing technology in a different way. It may not be providing an actual physical computer, but it's providing the pathways to make sure that people can move into the middle class and continue to thrive within that space. The other thing that really surprised me about the organization and just our work is we are solutions focused, business driven, and we are also an organization that has been studied a couple times. So when it comes down to like looking at our data and realizing that the impact we have is really great, the fact that we're a nonprofit and we're not afraid to have someone to come in and like lift the hood and make sure that all the things we say we're doing, we do, that is amazing to me.
So what she's saying is don't believe or just watch, because they are doing it, and I mean IT. So if you're saying we can't find qualified IT people who are diverse, we're looking to set up a situation where we have diversity and inclusion, all you have to do is contact Miss Bridget Gray at Scholas, and tell them how they can reach you.
Yeah, so they can reach us. We have 14 training locations, and we have 2 in this area, one in Silver Spring, Maryland, as well as in Baltimore. And they can reach us at www.perscholas.org and go and select your location and apply online.
Well, that's it. as in IT. Thank you for coming on Impact Moment. We really appreciate it. So make sure you check them out per Scholas. And it's all a part of Impact Moment on DCTV. I'm Alvin Jones, and thank you for watching us, and make sure you check it out.
The mission of ServiceSource is to support individuals who have disabilities in really all walks of their lives. We provide a variety of employment supports. One area is our job placement supports, where we help individuals get jobs with third-party community employers. We want to be there to really help mentor and help the individual navigate so that they can thrive in their work.
It feels good to be employed, just being able to come into work, and it gives me a sense of independence and autonomy. ServiceSource has helped me a lot with learning job skills and being able to have the asset of a job coach going into a job, so I'm not just going into a job without any support.
ServiceSource has changed my life. It's just given me fulfillment, enjoyment. It's an excellent opportunity for people with disabilities because there's not that many programs out there. So when you find one, you want to support it, and you will want your child or whoever you support to come out here. It's a great opportunity. I'm glad that I found it.
We encourage folks to get to know the people that we are here to support, because in many avenues, whether it's in work, whether it's in recreation, our folks can contribute a lot into the community, and we really want to build those partnerships and encourage that because it becomes a win-win for all of us.
I'm doing well. How are you, Alvin? ServiceSource Incorporated is a nonprofit organization, and we employ people with significant disabilities, provide them with jobs and the ability to contribute to society, just like you and I do. So it's just a great organization to work for. It's just so many success stories and good things that we do and for people. It's a very good organization to work for, very veteran friendly. And again, we provide services and products to the federal government through jobs and for people with disabilities. That is a fact. They love coming to work, they love to be on time, and once they learn how to perform a task or a job, they're very good at perfecting what they do on a day in and day out. Well, prior to it being ServiceSource Incorporated, I believe the company was called Fairfax Opportunities, and to my knowledge, it's been over 40 years. I've been with the company the last 15 years, and they've had the ServiceSource Incorporated name for a little over 20 years. The biggest joy for me, I manage a national federal contract where we employ over 140 individuals with significant disabilities. This contract has 59 field locations throughout the country, including U.S. territory of Puerto Rico, And it's just been a blessing to be a part of this organization and to manage this contract for this federal customer, and to see the people and how they work, how diligently they work, and how dedicated and motivated they are. It's just really refreshing and enjoyable. ServiceSource provides opportunities for those, as I said before, with disabilities, and to make them a valuable part of society. But they treat everyone's included. They invest in ServiceSource invests in the person's ability on the things that they can do, and they encourage each employee and give them the tools and resources needed to be successful. We perform outplacement services as well with other employers. Of course, the ultimate goal is to employ every person with disability that come to ServiceSource that is looking for an opportunity. We provide training, whether it be on job-related training or day-to-day how to take care of yourself. There are a lot of opportunities, and ServiceSource makes sure that we maximize and make every effort to create a positive environment for our employees with disabilities. Well, they can go to our website at www.servicesource.org. Thank you, Alvin, for having me.
Hello, this is Angela Harris, Vice President of Community Engagement and Programming for DCTV. The COVID-19 pandemic is disrupting businesses and service providers across the globe, and the effect is being felt here in DC. We are working diligently to provide for the health and safety of our employees and to do whatever we can to meet the needs of our community stakeholders. As part of our commitment to provide meaningful media, to support our communities through this challenging time, we are joining efforts with the Center for Disease Control and the World Health Organization to encourage you to monitor the pandemic situation closely and to follow the guidelines of local and federal officials. We also invite you to engage with DCTV and join us for the wonderful community programs you'll find on our channels that are produced here locally, by, for, and about the city where we live. We wish you and your family excellent health and an easy journey through these challenging times.
Welcome to Impact Moment right here on DCTV. I'm Alvin Jones, and today we're going to talk to an organization, and the gentleman's got a little bit of swag. Matter of fact, their name almost sounds like swag. It's called Swaliga, and here's LaVern Brown. How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, man. I'm checking out the t-shirt, Steam the Block. Tell everybody what that means.
That's right. So Steam the Block is actually our signature program. We do STEAM education. So we're using the arts to teach about science, tech, engineering, and math. So hashtag Steam the Block, that's the movement. That's our after-school program. We take this around the world, getting kids excited about STEAM education.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, kids, you should get excited. I'm gonna tell you something. I got started in radio, but what really helped me in radio was physics in high school. because I learned about wave propagation and frequencies and decibels and all those things.
You are very Swaliga right now. You getting me excited talking about the frequencies, the wave propagation. Yeah, and that's really the whole goal of the program and the mission of Swaliga is to show kids those intersections, like the music we listen to, the videos we watch, even the dances that we do. All of that relates to science and physics and stuff we learn about.
How did you get started?
Great question. So Swaliga Foundation was founded in Washington, D.C. in 2012. Just a quick backstory on myself. I was born in D.C. I've always had a passion for music. Growing up in the D.C., Maryland area, I was playing piano. I was in a rap group, you know, all of these types of things when I was younger. So fast forward, I ended up going to Drexel University and studying architectural engineering. I struggled through it, admittedly, but I graduated and I wanted to provide a way for other kids that aren't so good at school to become engineers, to learn about science. And when I came back from Philly here to DC, I just saw the disparities from how many kids were actually even aware of the opportunities in STEAM. And that became the driving force for our organization. So Swaliga started in 2012. We now do after-school programs. We do free community events, and we do cultural exchange programs that take students from the United States and DC over to South Africa and other countries around the world.
LaVern, I want to thank you for mentioning one thing. Like you said, when you were taking architecture, that you struggled through it. Did you give up?
I did not give up.
Okay.
I kept going. No, that was the hardest thing.
So in other words, he's about the struggle and getting through the struggle. And that's the thing that I think folks need to understand. If it's something you really want, you're going to get your butt kicked, but you're going to have to get back up. You're going to have to keep going. So folks, if it's something that you want and it seems sometimes like you just can't do it, just take a deep breath and keep on going.
Got to keep going. I mean, and that's the biggest thing with anything, even running a nonprofit organization, right? Like, it's not easy. You know, we started this with no major sponsors, no real funding, just passion and drive. And I think that translates to what we want to teach our kids, right? Like, if you have that perseverance, if you keep going, great things will continue to happen. I'm a testament to it.
And see, I like this guy, because what he's saying is, if you got an idea, you got a passion about something, just go for it. People will see it and pick up as it goes along. The one thing I always say about critics can only talk after you've done something, but while you're doing something, they ain't doing nothing.
That's right. That's right. Always a lot of talk, not as much action. So Swaliga Foundation, we're all about action. We're about connecting with these young people in meaningful ways, using rap, using things like Steam the Block, to make sure that they're engaged and that they see us doing the work, right? Because I think that's another thing that's important. Like, a lot of people tell kids, you know, you can do whatever you want, you can be whatever you want, but they need to see it. Like, they have to see engineers of color, scientists of color. They got to see people showing a real genuine interest in what they want to learn, and that's what Swaliga Foundation is.
How can we help you?
Anyone that is interested in supporting the work of the Swaliga Foundation can visit us online at swaligafoundation.org. That's SWALIGA foundation.org. Another thing is volunteering. We need time. Like, a lot of people that we work with, whether it be in broadcasting and entertainment like yourself, whether
I think I've been drafted.
There you go. Look, people need to hear your story. We need young people that are coming up right now to know that it's possible. And the way that they know that is seeing and talking to people like you. Our engineers, scientists, doctors, all of these people that are now moving into these professions, we need them to come and talk to our kids and share their stories so that they know that it's possible. That's a very important thing.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because although some people may think getting involved in STEAM is something new, no. Architectural, engineering, those are things that black folks have been doing for years. You know, George Washington Carver, Benjamin Banneker, all these folks, Charles Drew, who recently, Dr. Fauci stood under his picture, which means plasma is helping folks with COVID-19. So, folks, what we want you to understand is this gentleman right here, he's got a lot of swag and he's got a Swaliga, and you guys have to connect with him because he's got some good things for you.
Absolutely. You can also connect with us on social media any platform you're on, Instagram, Twitter, at Tribe Swaliga. So we call ourselves the Tribe, okay? We're from different countries, different colors, different backgrounds, but we all come together under that same Tribe Swaliga umbrella. So definitely connect with us on there too.
So you can vibe with the Tribe Swaliga.
I like that.
That sounds like a song, doesn't it?
Vibe with the Tribe, yeah.
Yeah.
Should I spit some bars now?
Come on.
Okay.
Come on, Cletus.
Look. Tell them count me in. Look, I've been counting the calls, counting down the lift off. Can't even count on my hands how many lives was lost. They counting us out. We still got the power. Look, it's exponential. We multiplying. Gotta steam this block faced with war and violence. We got a solution. Got it down to a science. Using this tech to rearrange the text about who we are. Told them you ain't even gotta be a movie star to shine bright. Just getting your mind right is more than enough. We engineering a way up, steady doing the math. I'm gonna stop right there.
Swaliga.
Swaliga. So you can do this with me. Last thing we do when we close our lessons,
okay,
we all say together, Swaliga, baby. That's kind of like our tribe chant.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Okay,
1, 2, 3. Swaliga, baby.
Lamar Brown, thanks for coming up, man, and thanks for. I'm going to thank you on behalf of the people who are watching, especially the young folks who want to get involved in STEAM, and they're going to be steaming the block, and they're going to be in Tribe Swaliga, and thank you for coming on. We just really appreciate you.
Absolutely. I want to say thank you again to you. Thank you to DCTV. And all of our partners and supporters that make the work that we do possible. Really gracious. And to any young people that are watching this, you can do it. Know your purpose, know your passion. You literally have everything you need. If I can do it, you can do it. So keep pushing, keep grinding.
Lamar Brown, thank you so very much.
My pleasure, thank you.
For Impact Moment, I'm Alvin Jones right here on DCTV. Swaliga!
Swaliga, baby. Appreciate you.
Good job.
UPO is the Community Action Agency for Washington, D.C., and we have served the community for nearly 58 years now. So UPO's vision is UPO's Washington, a city of thriving communities and self-sufficient residents. And our mission is uniting people with opportunities, because we recognize that our customers really do it for themselves. These are not people who are uninspired, if you will, but they really are wanting to make a difference for themselves and for their families. And it really is about breaking those cycles of poverty for families. If one person can just break it, typically that family can move on and not slide back into it.
Well, UPO has given me a second chance at life as far as opportunity and job-wise. And that was free. And I mean, if you need childcare, you need this, you need that, talk to UPO. Because your motivation, your eager, your hunger is gonna get you where you want to be. But you can't get there alone, but UPO will assist you.
A lot of our families feel like they're alone in DC. And we are here to meet their needs, all of their needs, in early education, in employment, in housing, community health, in advocacy, to follow them through their lives and to really see them succeed.
This is Impact Moment on DCTV. Hi, I'm Alvin Jones, and today it is my pleasure to introduce to you Ms. Andrea Thomas with UPO, which stands for, you know what it means?
United Planning Organization.
UPO has been such a part of the Washington, D.C. area and helping let people know what you guys do, because I think there's some people who know about UPO, and then you guys do so many things.
We tear down barriers to help build people up. And one of the ways that we improve the lives of community members is by connecting them to opportunities for career stability and career advancement through our nationally certified training program.
You help people get good jobs, not just a job, but a good job.
Recently, a gentleman, Michael, who was incarcerated for 40 years, came home with a real vision for a restart for his future. He came to UPO and worked with our Workforce Institute, got training. We helped him secure a job with the Environmental Protection Agency, and within 6 months, he was a lead supervisor there. And now he has a vision for this being his career where he stays for the rest of his life. And I say when determination meets opportunity, that's how hope is made.
If a person has determination and they want something, if they come to UPO, they're going to get that opportunity.
Absolutely. We open the door to opportunity, whether it's again through our portfolio of trainings, which include IT, culinary arts, hospitality, plumbing, electrical. They're able to get that. But also we have programs that really do focus on the whole family. We're the largest early Head Start provider in the city. We have programs for youth, and we even have programs for senior citizens 55 and above in our foster grandparent program.
How do we get the secret out? Let's talk about that.
You can learn more at www.upo.org, so we invite you to do that. But we also invite you, if you'd like to have a visit or a tour of our facilities, that's something that we're always open to doing.
Well, it's hard to have a secret when you invite people in. So I guess the secret's out.
Absolutely.
What are some of the challenges that you have right now, especially with COVID-19?
With COVID-19, one of the challenges, obviously, as many people have, is the teleworking. We are a human services agency, and so we like to be hands-on with the people who come through our doors. But even in spite of that, we have provided child care to the families to the children of first responders. We are still handing out food in the local community at our PD Green Center. We're still providing tax support to individuals in the community. So we are still out there on the job front line, but of course that's been curtailed a bit because of COVID. As it relates to social justice, obviously we see how there is a link between social justice and poverty, and quite frankly, racism in this country. And so our focus, again, is to remove barriers. And if that barrier is speaking up about racism and about institutional racism that keeps folks from moving forward, that also is a part of what we do through our advocacy work.
Well, one of the things I really appreciate that UPO does is that you provide opportunities. Like you said, you had a gentleman who was incarcerated. And because he had that right attitude, you had the supplies and the resources for him to do that. So folks, I'm just saying right now, if it's something that you want, there's no longer a secret of how to get. Remember they used to talk about the secret? You know, people go like, what's the secret? The secret is UPO.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Andrea Thomas, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It has been my distinct pleasure.
Check out UPO, United Planning Organization. This has been another Impact Moment. I'm Alvin Jones on DCTV.
Hi, I'm Julia Reardon, Grants Manager and Associate Producer at DCTV. Thank you for joining us on this special day of programming as we pay tribute to the amazing and critical work that nonprofit organizations are doing to make an impact in our community each and every day. The DCTV grant program was established in 2019 to help nonprofit organizations to learn marketing communications best practices and to provide digital media assets to help them in telling their story. Each grant cycle is 1 year-long program. We launched our first cycle in August of 2019, and amid the global pandemic, we welcomed a second cycle of grantees that we are thrilled to formally announce here. These are the recipients of the second cohort group of grantees who joined us earlier this year. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, we're pushing forward and helping grantees now more than ever to find innovative ways to make impact during these times. So, congratulations to our second cohort grant award recipients. We invite all nonprofit organizations who serve the Washington, D.C. community to apply for the DCTV Nonprofit Capacity Building Grant. We award grants twice a year, in January and in July. If your organization is interested in applying for a DCTV Nonprofit Capacity Building Grant, please visit us online at dctv.org/grants to find out more about the program and how to apply. You can always sign up to attend one of our info sessions to get an in-depth overview of all this grant has to offer. Let us help your organization to tell quality stories about the important work that you do to make a positive impact in our community. We look forward to working with you.
I'm Angela, and I'm Vice President of Community Engagement, Programming and Communications at DCTV. I stand against hate and bigotry. Prior to coming to DCTV, my experience included work as a university professor and the chair of the Journalism and Media Studies Department at major universities. One of the most impactful courses that I've taught has been the study of race, gender, and class in the media. The medium of television, like movies, print, radio, and digital, is incredibly powerful. Our social norms are accepted or rejected based on what we see and hear in media. Voices of the powerless are often marginalized, and too often they are silenced. This speaks to the importance of community media. DCTV gives voice to the voiceless. We provide an open platform for all to be heard. We want the voices of Black, brown, yellow, white, LGBTQ, different abilities and religions all to be heard. As an employer, we have a zero tolerance for discrimination and hate. As a leader in business and as a humanitarian, I feel a personal responsibility to bring new ideas and innovation that will create change. That only happens through diversity. Every perspective matters. Inclusion means everyone. Black Lives Matter is not an exclusion of anyone. It's a movement against brutality and hate. This is a time for us to work together towards equality and change. I have a voice, I have a story, and I am DCTV.
Well, our nonprofit, the Emory Beacon of Light, has provided a number of services, and we have the Beacon Clean Team, which we were able to get a grant from the city to hire persons who are looking for jobs. We provide an immigration clinic, where we've had a clinic here once a month for people who need help with gaining immigrant status. We have a very popular food pantry that's pretty full on Tuesdays, and the need is tremendous, and we've been running out of food almost every week. We have the Beacon Brightwood Business Alliance, which has provided support for the small businesses up and down Georgia Avenue, and other programs. Our whole goal has been to help this community be whole and to help this community be self-sufficient. Brightwood is a tremendous place, and we're just happy to be a part of the fabric of this neighborhood.
Los residentes de Washington están siendo amenazados por estafas de utilidad todos los días. Las empresas de servicios utilidades no desconectar servicios sin previo aviso por pago atrasado. Si te enfrentas a una situación como esta, llama el número que está en la factura para verificar y póngase en contacto con la Comisión de Servicio Público o la policía para denunciar a los estafadores. Luchar contra las estafas de servicios públicos, el poder es tuyo.
At Hillcrest Children and Family Center, we put our clients first, offering up-to-date clinical services in a confidential, caring environment. Throughout our 205-year history, we have offered primary prevention and mental health services to children and families in the Washington, D.C. area.
We dig deep into the core of the matter to discover the root of the problems and to find best solutions. We pride ourselves on offering the community a continuum of services such as therapy, substance abuse treatment, school-based behavioral health services, and employment and housing support.
Hillcrest Children and Family Center, healing wounds from the past to embrace a healthy future. 205 years of passion and purpose.
So I was thinking that we could even do like peppers and carrots for them, that they could sell it like bundled with hummus.
Community Foodworks is working to address food insecurity. For individuals or families that are using SNAP, it means that if you come to our markets, you're able to access a dollar for dollar match. So if you decide to take $10 off of your SNAP card, you'll have those $10 to spend and then an additional $10 through a Finney grant.
I think we get more fruits and vegetables for our bucks, and the products are good. I think it's better than the grocery store.
Yeah, and it is important because we don't have that much around here. We do need things like this for the community, the elders, the children, everybody.
Asylum seekers flee their home country suddenly and will arrive in the United States seeking safety from persecution. They will live in legal limbo for many years with few resources of their own. Asylum seekers are a diverse group of people. This legal status transcends country of origin, age, race, religion, and class. Despite these many differences, asylum seekers are united by their belief in the United States as a country that values safety and freedom. Asylum Works provides holistic services and support proven to help asylum seekers regain confidence and control over their futures. For this reason, Asylum Works clients are dramatically more likely to win their asylum case. Asylum Works strengthens communities by empowering asylum seekers to rebuild their lives with dignity and purpose. Visit asylumworks.org to get involved.